potato boulangere. It's French, you know. It means potato of the baker. What does that mean? Anyway, it's one of the tastiest potato dishes you'll ever make, and you'll use it all the time. It's spot on. So it's fairly simple. Takes a little, not a lot of time, a little bit of time. So we'll start with an onion. Half the onion, and then what you want is nice thin slices, because what we're going to do is we're going to caramelise these. And we'll just get that really nice sweet flavour. So these are going to go in a pan. Just get a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. So for this one, we're actually going to cook the potatoes in the frying pan, so you'll need an oven safe pan, so no plastic handle. So the onion is the base of it, of the dish. So we'll get this going. And all you're going to do, these will take a little while because you just want to cook them slowly. Just break the onions up, cook them nice and slowly, and we're going to get them right down to a nice sort of golden brown, caramelised, sweet. Like getting the sweet flavour out of the onion, which is going to be perfect for the base of the potatoes. So the potatoes we're using for this dish, Morris Piper. Any starchy potato would be perfect for this. And what we're going to do is just slice them up thin, which you could use a knife. You're looking for maybe like 3mm, 1/8 of an inch thick, but a mandolin is perfect. If you haven't got a mandolin, it's an awesome tool, kitchen gadget tool, but this one I can highly recommend. This is from ProCook. It's one of the safest and easiest mandolins I've used, because you've got this guard on. It's so easy, and you're not going to slice the tips off your fingers, which is always a sort of a bonus, isn't it, really, when you're cooking. So, potato in there. You've got this little spring-loaded thing with little spiky things in. Push that on there, and then just go for it. So it's really quick to use, and you just know that you're going to keep your fingers, which is always, like I say, it's always a bonus. Don't want them bits. So we'll just put them into a bowl. And obviously I haven't peeled the potatoes because we want the flavour. And to get the maximum flavour, leave the skin off. So last one. So onions are done. You can see just a nice sort of golden brown. So we just spread them evenly across the bottom of the pan, because this is, remember, this is the pan that we're going to actually cook this in. And what else we've got? We've got beef stock. We've got butter, but this is, it's not just it's melted butter. You can actually just melt it in the microwave, or you can put it over a pan. And what it does, it'll separate. So you've got clarified butter basically, and you've got the solids in the bottom. We're just going to use the clarified butter. It's just going to make the dish so much better. We've got your potatoes, and we've got some thyme, some black pepper, and some salt. So let's start and put it together. So first thing, a little bit of stock in the bottom there. because what's going to happen is the onions are going to steam, you're going to get the flavour coming up through the potatoes, and it's all going to come together. Potatoes, just lay them round, just a little overlap, because too big an overlap you're going to get a lot of potato and then no sort of stock and seasoning. And in the middle, that'll do fine. So after each layer, what we're going to do is just add a touch of salt, a little bit of the stock, and just drizzle the butter nice and evenly over there. Black pepper, not a lot of black pepper, to be honest. I've gone a bit heavy there. And just a small amount of the thyme, because thyme is quite powerful flavour. So on each, because we're going to do this sort of on each layer, we don't want too much, don't want it overpowering the dish. So then we've got potatoes. Stock and the butter. Oops. Touch of salt. Pepper. And a little bit of thyme. So just build that up until you've got you've used all your potatoes, or you don't want to fill the pan totally. So the top layer, this is your presentation layer. I'm going to try and get it fairly neat. Right, and then just press that down, just try and flatten it a little bit. So we've got the final layer of stock and the butter. And on this one, just going to go with the salt and a little bit of the thyme. Then what we need is a cartouche, which is basically a fancy name for greaseproof paper with a hole in it. So you just fold it up, put the point into the middle, and then just cut around like that. Then we just take the tip off. What you get is a circle, which should just fit nicely onto there. Just press it down, just so you get all the liquid touching. That's just going to help it sort of stay in place while it's in the oven. So what we're going to do is put it in the oven at round about 130 degrees for about an hour. And then we're going to take off the cartouche and we're going to get it browning. Okay? That's had an hour. So what we're going to do now is just get rid of the cartouche, and you can see there's still a lot of juices there, the stock and the butter, which is exactly what we want at this stage. So I'm just going to sort of press it down around the edges. Just make sure we're getting that liquid on the top. If you haven't got liquid on the top, if you just tilt your pan and you can just pinch some from the edges there. Because what this butter is going to do is just going to help all the tops of the potatoes caramelise and get a nice golden colour. That's looking good. So that now needs about another 20 minutes to half an hour, but I've upped the temperature to 140. Don't be tempted to go higher, because what you're going to do is start getting burnt edges on top, which is not what you're after on this. You just want a nice even golden colour. Right, so back in the oven. So that's had another 20 minutes, and you can see we're starting to get a really nice colour on there. So the last thing, I'm going to add just a little bit more of the stock. What this is going to do is just going to help get a nice sort of shine to the top of the potatoes. That's enough. And then just a touch more butter. Just more or less just sort of rub this over the top. Oops. Undo. And then a little sprinkle of coarse salt, and then last thing is thyme, as in the herb. And then this is going to go back in the oven, same temperature, don't just leave it as what it is, and for somewhere 5 to 10 minutes. Because I mean, you'll see now just to test it, as the knife goes in, you'd feel resistance between the layers if it wasn't ready. So there isn't there, so it is actually cooked now. So now it's just the final finishing and just getting that golden top finished. Right, so that's had another 10 minutes. So total cook time, an hour and a half. It's maybe slightly over, but you can see we've got a nice golden colour to the top. We know it's cooked right through, so there's only one thing to do, and that's to taste it. I've got more delicious potato videos coming out, and then we've got the Christmas series starting soon as well, and that is going to be real fun. That's going to be awesome. So let's just taste this. Difficult dish to do, just give it a go, you'll love it.